Yo, what's going on, guys? We're gonna do a little Q&A here. Gonna have a pretty good list of questions. We'll try to get to all of them. Bear with me if this doesn't look good. I'm trying, like, I'm in a trial and error process with all my webcams. So I went to a webcam and don't know if it's good, but anyways, I'm blabbering. All right, so the first one I want to get to was one of the first questions asked today was, how do I use meditation towards performance? And this is something that obviously I think with the general outlook on meditation, right, is like you're weird, and that's completely fine. But the way I look at it, and I responded to someone the other day about this and went into pretty good detail about how I kind of have like different forms of meditation. Just to like break it down pretty simple is like I have a spiritual meditation, so I'm a man of my faith, and I use my meditation time to, whether it be like praising God or glorifying God and just being mindful of his presence and drawing closer in that regard. And then the next meditation that I would have is like essentially box breathing, where I'm completely trying to just clear mind thoughts and just focus on breath, and which is really hard to do, right? And then the other meditation that I've talked about a lot is like the visualization meditation. That rhymes. And that's simply where like my eyes are closed, I'm quiet, every like physical part of me is quiet, and I'm just like putting my mind in that position of, what I want to visualize. So I meditate before outings, and I'm meditating on like the lineup 1 through 9. I'm meditating on like what or visualizing what I'm going to do to those guys, having a game plan and stuff like that. So now to answer the question as far as how do I use it towards performance, is you got to think like, is there anything within the game of baseball or sports in general, like where we get out into the game setting and we do something or attempt to do something that we haven't practiced yet? Like, it's like the analogy that I would use was, if I'm a pitcher, well, I am a pitcher, but if I go out into a game and knowing that I don't throw a knuckleball, and I go out there and I try to dominate guys with a knuckleball, that doesn't make much sense to me or you, right? So that's how I look at my meditation, where when you get out onto the mound and the game naturally speeds up, and it's really easy for thoughts to go sporadic and start thinking X, Y, and Z and all this other stuff. And what's the thing that you're supposed to do or you have to do, right? Is like quiet the mind, calm down, just breathe, all these things. Well, if you're not putting those things into practice, it's going to be a lot harder to do in a game setting than it would be if I'm like on my floor with no pressure on the line, right? So I need to be able to practice that over and over again, daily practice. It's like throwing a glove side four seam, man. You practice it, and then when you get into the game, you're more confident in that ability to do that because of the practice that you've put into place. Same thing with my meditation, dude. That's how I would answer that question as far as how do I use it towards performance, was because if, ish hits the fan out there, dude, and I need to kind of calm down, and my mind needs to calm down, and I need to just breathe. It's going to be a lot easier for me to accomplish that task having put that into practice throughout my routines, rather than like not and then try to go out there and do it. So hopefully that makes sense, and good question. All right. Remember, meditation, it's not weird, man. Maybe it is. I don't know.